Friends, today is the third Sunday of Ordinary Time. Buddhism is founded by Buddha. And he believed the world is full of suffering, sarvam dukkham. And the aim of man is to come out of this world of suffering to attain liberation. In fact, he uses the word nirvana for liberation, means cease to exist, come out of this existence. And he also would say each one should work their way out. Be a light unto yourself. There's no God, and I am not God to help you, but each one through their own spiritual disciplines, spiritual exercises, and good living should attain arhathood. But later, after the arrival of Mahayana Buddhism, idea has changed. They asked the question, why did Buddha live another 45 years after the enlightenment? And they conclude that Buddha lived another 45 years because the aim of man is not only to get liberation for oneself, but they also have a responsibility to enlighten other people through good advices and teachings. In fact, the Mahayana Buddhism considers the older Buddhism, the Theravada Buddhism, as the Hinayana Buddhism. Hinayana, popularly translated as a smaller vehicle because they are only a small group of people. But it also has a pejorative meaning, which means lower in dignity. Because the Mahayana Buddhism considers Theravadins as selfish people because they only are worried about, preoccupied with personal liberation, forgetting the others. Whereas the Mahayana Buddhism considers themselves as Mahayana or a greater vehicle because they are broad-minded, they are for everyone. According to them, I will be saved when everyone else is saved. My aim is not only my liberation, but also the liberation of everyone. We are all on the same path. We are all equal. And that may be the reason for Mahayana Buddhism, there are two important virtues, and one among them is Mahakaruna, the great compassion. And Buddhism is known for great compassion. And the second being wisdom, prajna, or the great true wisdom. Now coming to Hinduism, every one of us know, all those who are familiar with at least Ramayana will know what prompted Valmiki to write Ramayana. He was not a holy person, he was a dacoit in fact. But once he was standing at the bank of the river Tamasa, he saw a hunter shooting down a bird, and suddenly a voice came up in the air. And the voice says, Ma nishadha pratishtham tvam akama swaswati sama yat kraucha midunhathekam avati kama mohidam. O hunter, do not. You shall not kill when someone is in love. And this particular sentence changed the whole life of Valmiki. From a dacoit to a person who is in search of dharma and love. And that is why we have Ramayana, the story of dharma, the story of righteousness. We have another example from the book of Victor Hugo. The name of the book is Les Miserables, The Miserables. And there he speaks about the story of Jean Valjean, who stole the silverware from the bishop who gave him refuge. While he was trying to sell this in the market, he was caught and brought back to the bishop. And then told the bishop, see, he has stolen your silverware. The response of the bishop was so surprising. He says, he has not stolen, I have given to him. Do you know him? Yes, he is my brother. And not only that, after this incident, he gave 2 silver candlesticks to him because he is my brother, he needs that. My brothers, why am I speaking all those things? My question today, when we read and reflect about the passage of Luke chapter 4, 14 to 21, is the question, what is the essence of religion? What is the essence of religion? In all those things, we can find the essence of religion is compassion. Even the Christian tradition, and I'll come back to the Bible, the Christian tradition says, we were in the paradise, Adam and Eve enjoying their life with God in the paradise, but because of sin they lost and they are out of paradise. But God did not abandon us. Out of His compassion for lost humanity, He sent His only Son to save us and bring us back to the Father. Again, the idea of compassion. He didn't want to lose His own, and therefore He came out of compassion to save us. Now, after coming down, He received baptism. We have seen that few weeks ago. And then today, He is giving the mission statement. What should be a real religion? What should be a person who is anointed by the Lord should do? And what should be the force of a religious person? And what should be their task? If you read the mission statement or the manifesto of the kingdom of God, we can see the mission statement is love the poor, have compassion. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. In one of my previous homilies, I mentioned about who is the poor. Poor is not only materially poor. The marginalized, the blind, the deaf, the maimed, all those who are not at the mainstream society. They are the poor. And our duty is to bring them good news. And Jesus did that by healing them, by teaching them, by feeding them, various ways He was helping them out. And to set the captives free. The people who are under the captives of the devil and the demons and the evil powers. Jesus casting out devils, forgiving their sins. In fact, He was becoming a good news again. And to set the prisoners free from the jails and various kinds of addictions. They are all under jail. Drug addicts, alcohol addicts, all these are in one way or other in prison. And then again, to give sight to the blind. And giving sight here is not only physical sight but also spiritual sight. Jesus, the light who is born into this world, has come to give us the light. And if we walk in His light, we will never walk in darkness. Therefore, Jesus has come to give the sight and to establish the acceptable time of the Lord. If you go through this mission statement, we can see the aim of Jesus is to reach out to people, empower them, give them a new way of life from their old ways of infirmity, limitations, littleness, and adversity. Compassion. And Jesus had plenty of them. He was saying, I see they are like a lost sheep. They are like a sheep without a shepherd. He felt compassion for them. So therefore, this is one thing that we need to reflect today. What is the essence of religion? Today, there's a lot of conversations going on. And when we look at a religion, we always look at the structures. Mighty buildings, great monuments, greater organization, greater power within the structure, within the hierarchy, within the order, everything. So our approach or our first idea about religion is all those things. But I think we need to go beyond this and embrace the idea of compassion. And that alone can uplift religion and the religious people. I just want to conclude with a beautiful example from the Hebrew understanding of compassion. The word for compassion in Hebrew is Rahman. You need to care for the other, because without their good living, I will also be affected. And the beautiful example given here is the mother and the child in her womb. The health of the child very much depends on the health of the mother. And the health of the mother very much depends on the health of the child. You cannot neglect either of them. If the child is sick, the mother also will become sick. If the mother is sick, the child also will become sick. So therefore, both are mutually dependent. In other words, compassion is not out of pity. Pity arises from fear. When fear touches pain, it becomes pity. But when love touches pain, it becomes compassion. I consider the other and I reach out the other out of compassion, because I believe that we are all equal and everyone has a right to live dignified and with a sense of honor. So today, when Jesus says, I have come to do these things, to bring good news, to set the captives free, to release the prisoners, to give sight to the blind, he was in fact making a preferential option for the poor. And that should be also our attitude. The essence of religion, I always believe, is compassion born out of love. May God bless all of us and give us the grace to be compassionate, to practice our religion properly and live meaningfully wherever we are. God bless you and thank you.